Welcome to Nismo TV News. The week in Nismo, and it has been a very busy week in the world of Nissan in motorsports. Primarily, the World Endurance Championship came to its conclusion in Bahrain, where Nissan took its 35th consecutive victory in the LMP2 category. However, that is the end of an era for Nissan in LMP2. Its VK45DE V8 engine, which had dominated that category for many years, has now been outlawed due to a rule change by the organisers, the ACO. They will replace that engine with a single-make engine from tuner Gibson for 2017 onwards, which is a shame. However, it is not the end of Nissan's involvement in prototype racing. We will see the Nissan ESM-built DPI competing in America. Now, those of you who have seen some of the DPI renderings and models that have been shown off so far know that these new American cars look amazing, and we've yet to see the Nissan version, but that will be fantastic. Meanwhile, there are other Nissan engine prototypes which will continue to race in Europe. The LMP3 category will continue to be all Nissan powered for the years to come. And speaking of LMP3, this year's champions Alex Brundle and Mike Gauch for United Autosports collected their prize drive, one of the final outings for a Nissan-powered LMP2 car in Bahrain with Manor. Those guys got their prize drive to run and test that car, which is great for them and a good farewell for the Nissan VK45DE. Switzerland, and we sometimes play a game in Nismo TV HQ called Name the Famous Swiss Person. Well, coming up top of the list all the time is Simona Di Silvestro, the former IndyCar driver who's been racing in Australia, really impressed in the V8 Supercars Championship at Bathurst. Well, she's now secured on the back of that a full-time drive in a Nissan Altima, meaning she has the potential, with her ability as well, to be the first female V8 Supercars champion. Stay tuned for that one. GT Academy news. We saw Johnny from Mexico win the 2016 International GT Academy at Silverstone a few weeks ago, and it was announced that he would be racing the Dubai 24 Hours with Jan Mardenborough as his teammate. Well, we can now announce the other two drivers in the car. That will be another Mexican, Ricardo Sanchez. Alongside him will be Romain Sarazin, making it 4 GT Academy champions in the same car, in the same race, and it's going to be a fascinating thing to watch because there is already rivalry over who is going to be the quickest driver in that car. Hello, we are here at Team RJN Motorsport in Didcot, England, and you might hear a bit of background noise because the team are currently packing up to get the cars prepped for the 24 Hours of Dubai, which happens in a few weeks' time. But I'm joined by two guys who are really looking forward to that race. It is Romain Sarazin and Johnny from Mexico. So Johnny, I haven't seen you since we were at Silverstone. Since then, they've been working you pretty hard, but what have you been doing for the last few weeks?
Since the driver development program started 18 hours after I last saw you, I've only had 2 rest days, but the rest of the time it's pretty flat out. So far I've done 7 races in the Group N 370 set, also a race in this GT4 370 at Brands Hatch in the night. So that's really good preparation for driving in the night back in Dubai in the same car. A couple of days at Bedford, personal tuition at Bedford. Fitness, gym sessions, that's the sports psychologist. All in all, pretty full-on program.
You're here getting ready for the big race in Dubai, your first big international race. Have you even seen the circuit before?
Yeah, I've raced. Last week we went just to learn the circuit. We did the national circuit, which is pretty much most of what we're racing, except for maybe 3 corners. But this coming week, me and Roman are heading over again to race Radicals again in 2 3-hour races. And this time we're using the whole GP circuit, so it'll be exactly the same circuit we're going to be using for the 24-hour race. It's
a massive GT Academy mashup, this is 4 GT Academy winners. So that's a lot of talent on the PlayStation. Who is going to be the quickest behind the wheel at Dubai?
Good question. What
I
do you
don't know.
think it would be?
On the PlayStation, I'm probably the slowest.
You're a GT Academy winner. I think that's probably
Yeah,
not true.
well, compared to those guys.
One of the things about this long distance race in a desert where it's really hot on a really challenging circuit against a massive field up against some of the best driving talent in Europe and across the world. What makes this race so difficult?
Just that it's such a big grid. There's, at least last year there were over 100 cars, so this year should be no different. So it's going to be a challenge, and not only is it 100 different cars, but it's 100 very different cars speed-wise. So there's some really slow cars, some really fast cars, and we'll be somewhere in the middle.
Now you've been playing already out at some of the UK circuits with cars of different abilities and different speeds. How have you found that racing against guys like me actually?
Yeah, it's really challenging because not only do you have to look out for cars you're lapping that are slower than you, or cars you're actually fighting because they're roughly your speed, you have to be looking in your mirrors constantly to not move out of the way necessarily, but just know if someone's about to pass you on the inside and you don't turn in on them. So it's definitely challenging. It's probably a bit more nerve-wracking than racing just cars at about your same speed.
Jan has finished on the podium in this race in Dubai.
Ricardo
definitely finished on the podium.
Yeah.
So is there pressure on you two now to keep that GT Academy winners podium in Dubai record?
But we will. It's the aim. We are good drivers. We have a really good team, a really good car. So I'm sure we will.
Coming up, not much. It's the end of the season in the world of Nismo. But there is one more very special thing coming up on the 11th of December, and that's going to be there. It's Nismo Fest, live and exclusive on Nismo TV. Hit subscribe, put it in the comments right now what you want to see from that. All the best Nissan cars from the history of Nissan in motorsport, all in one place, all racing, all for you here. I've got better hair than Jan Martin, bro.